Welcome back. Time for Wine Wednesday, and a winery in Dundee is marking a major milestone. Dobbes Family Estate celebrating their 20th anniversary.
Dobbes, known for their hideaway tasting room, a calendar full of fun events, and of course, delicious wines. Joining us in the studio this morning is Einberger, winemaker with Dobbes Family Estate. Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And congrats on 20 years. How exciting.
It wasn't me, honestly.
I know you're a little newer to the team along the way.
That's right.
But yeah, so Dobbes celebrated its 20th anniversary, and Wine by Joe, part of the Dobbes family, also celebrating 20 years. How does it feel to kind of hang your hat on 2 decades?
It's great to be 20 again.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not a lot of businesses make it this far, and I think it's a testament to the people. Obviously, Joe Dobbes started Dobbes Family Estate back in 2002 with an eye towards making super premium Pinot Noir, but also making Syrah from the Rogue Valley, Grenache Blanc, and Viognier. And then in 2003, built Wine by Joe, which is a much different animal, a winery that's more focused on producing wines that are approachable, a little bit less expensive, wines that are your everyday drinking wines.
That makes sense. Well, now that you mentioned you weren't at the helm 2 decades ago when this all started, but you are now. So what's the future look like?
I mean, the people that have built this business have done an incredible job. So status quo doesn't sound super sexy, right? As we're gonna keep doing things the way that we have been. But the reality is that Joe had this vision of creating an innovative winery where we're not just producing Willamette Valley Pinot Noirs, we're producing Syrah, as I mentioned, we produce a port-style wine. We're constantly changing, constantly evolving, and I love that about what we do. We have the ability to make wines that are approachable and easy drinking, like Wine by Joe, and we have the ability to really explore everything that winemaking has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, even to some bubbles. I know you brought a little sparkling
I did.
to say congrats to 20 years.
Yeah,
what are we
this
popping
is
today?
the moment.
Yeah.
We'll open
we wanted
this.
to save the, for on camera.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah. So, and what is this one? This is a Dobbes Family Estate wine.
Yeah, so we've been making this wine that we call Elements for a handful of years now.
There it is.
Well done.
This is
I look so much more nervous every time I try and do that.
I know.
It's terrifying.
I know.
Cheers to us.
Yes.
Cheers to us.
Cheers.
Well, cheers to your 20 years. There you go.
So you were telling us about this one, yeah.
Boom. We'll be cheersing again, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell us about this wine and some of the other ones you brought in.
So Elements is a wine that we've been making for 5 years. It's a forced carbonated sparkling wine. So unlike a method sparkling wine where the wine would stay in bottle for 3 or 4 years, this wine is bottled and released within a year. And so it's it can be a real challenge. So the winemaking protocols change because we want to make a wine that has the sort of palate weight, brioche, sort of bready character that you would get from a method sparkling wine, but in a much shorter time. So we do a lot of lees stirring. The wine ferments in barrel. We do that all to try to create breadth and body in the wine.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
Really
That's
cool.
really cool.
Really cool.
Well, anyone who's been to your tasting room knows that it is wonderful, the Dobbes Family Estate. I know January can kind of seem like a slow month in wine country. What would you recommend for people who want to go wine tasting this time of year?
Well, I'd recommend coming. Because it's a slow month, it's easier to get in. I think often tasting rooms in wine country are appointment only now, especially after COVID. Dobbes, of course, still, we accept walk-ins, which is nice. So we have people that can just stumble in. Maybe not stumble in.
Depends on if you're starting your day of wine tasting or finishing
unannounced. But I think coming out to wine country in January can be great because there aren't as many people.
Yeah. Can be a nice time to get out there, and you can still get all bundled up and cozy with a glass of wine.
And the Hideaway, as you mentioned, is a warm place to hang out.
Just because it's not warm outside, I think it's still a beautiful, no bad day in wine country.
Yeah, no question about that. Anything on the calendar that's coming up that's pretty fun?
Yeah, it is. These are slower months, and we're just getting through our busy season of having events. But February, we're a part of the Chardonnay Symposium, which is our first time. We haven't been making Chardonnay on the Dobbes side for that long. So we're really excited to be a part of that.
Yeah,
Nice. That is
very
exciting.
fun. We'll have to come check it out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, congrats to
Thank
20
you.
years. No small
Congratulations on
feat.
20
No small
years.
feat at all.
Fantastic. You can celebrate Wine by Joe celebrating their 20th year this year. Always a wine that I look for on store shelves when I'm doing my grocery shopping. And then, of course, see the full line at dobbsfamilyestate.com. That's where you can go to make a tasting reservation too, or stumble in if you wanted to stop by.